I've always felt like an only child, but I'm not. I have a brother who's 13 years older than me. So when the time came for me to actually be able to hang on to those precious childhood memories, he was already out the house, living with his dad in some form of independence. When he did come back, after things had turned sour with me, he was too old to bother with an annoying kid. He used to want to watch documentaries while I went to watch cartoons. He was also nocturnal with a night job, sleeping throughout the day. So we never came close. I have a sister as well, but I'd actually never had met her before. So how was I to feel when my dad told me that he'd found her on Facebook and told me to add her? I bet some of your parents would have said to be nicer to your siblings after you've been fighting, but would they have told you to start talking to someone that you don't know anything about? Well, not anything. I mean, I knew her first name, and she was 3 years older than me. The trouble was, I wasn't even sure I even wanted a sister. I mean, I felt like a toddler being told they're going to have a brother or sister and had to fight for their parents' attention. Anyway, I already had a brother, and even though we weren't close, I didn't mind that. Anyway, I'd lasted like 19 years without knowing her. Why should I want to start now? But parents kept pushing me to talk to her, and I couldn't say no. I could tell it was my dad who wanted it. He told me that after the split, they didn't really keep on talking terms, so he didn't really get to see her grow up as a dad should. Who was I to deny a father, let alone my own, the right to reconnect with his daughter? Adding her was easy. What wasn't was the first conversation. I'm your half-brother. This is really awkward, isn't it? That was the first thing I sent to her on Facebook. What a way to start a conversation with your long-lost sister. It turns out she was a nice enough girl. She was even studying to be a nurse. But as she was telling me about herself, I couldn't bring myself to truly care as much as I should have. But anyway, my work was done. My dad and her started talking again, and I just slunk into the background. And I stayed there for quite some time, only saying happy birthday, Merry Christmas and the like for about 2 years. I was still being badgered, of course, by my parents to ask her this and tell her that. Then came the day I knew would come. She was coming up to visit me one weekend. And as much as I knew that was coming, it still shocked me a little bit. But there wasn't a doubt in my mind that I did indeed want to meet her. At least then I could get a better gauge of her and figure out if I was going to be slipping into the background again. So eventually, the day came. Me, sitting in the living room in front of the fire, parents on the couch in front of the TV, waiting for the doorbell to ring. And when it did ring, I was flustered and nervous, so I walked through that door. Who wouldn't be in that situation? I remember meeting her and her boyfriend at the door, and I remember the first hug I gave her. It felt awkward, just as the first message I sent her on Facebook. But it was better since it was in person. There I was, hugging my sister. I honestly thought I never would. I also found myself instantly judging her boyfriend as if I had some right. I mean, I know some brothers should be protective of their sisters, but I didn't know her. How would I know if he was worthy of her or not? I mean, what if I didn't like him? I mean, should I take her aside and say, I don't like the guy you're seeing? I'm just glad I liked him. Made things easier, really. The usual happened over the weekend. Dinner, drinks, family outing, another dinner, more drinks. Then, the night before she left, we talked. For an hour she just sat in my room and we just talked about stuff. I can't even remember what it was. But it was nice. And then it hit me, that I'd been missing out on this for my whole life. I mean, I talked to my friends and such, but I'd always held back, And I never really talked to my brother since he was too old. But there we were, me and my sister, talking honestly and openly about stuff. And that was nice. When she left in the morning, I was so sad to see her go, but I was glad I met her. We still talk on Facebook now and then, but not enough. As much as others would think that was normal. But I'm sure we'll see each other again on occasions like weddings, my wedding, her wedding and such. I'd still say I was an only child. But then I'd interject that I had two siblings, a brother and a sister, both of which I would fight tooth and nail for, since they were family. And in the end, it's family that matters.